Today we're going to work on section 3.2, which is solving two-step equations. With two-step equations, students often ask me, how do you know what to do first? Do I get rid of the 4? Do I get rid of the -3? What do I do first? And I tell students, think about if you knew what x was, you would take that x divided by 4, that answer minus 3. You'd follow those order of operations. Well, in order to solve for that x, you have to work backwards through the operations. You're going to first get rid of the subtracting 3 and then take care of the dividing by 4. So if we take care of the subtracting 3, the inverse operation is to add 3 to both sides. The 3 and the -3 cancel out. That leaves us with x divided by 4 equals 5. And now we're down to a one-step equation, which we had worked on in the previous section. We'll multiply by 4 on both sides of the equation, and we will have x equal to 20. As we talked about in section 3.1, you can check to see if your answer actually works. Here you have that 20 divided by 4 is 5. 5 minus 3, does 2 equal 2? Is that your check? Did it work? Do you have a true statement? If it is a true statement, then you know that your answer is correct. Let's go on and do another problem. 5x plus 9 equal 24. Do you want to try to do this one by yourself first? Just stop the video, go through and try it, and then come back in and see once if you did it correctly. We're going to start by subtracting 9 on both sides to undo the adding of 9. That leaves us with 5x equal to 15. And now we're down to that one-step equation. We'll divide by 5 on both sides and have x equal to 3. Again, put a box around that answer for me so I can find it easily. When we get done with chapter 3, then I will not make you show me what you're doing to both sides. So what I have highlighted in yellow, after chapter 3, I won't make you do. All the other stuff will still need to be there. But while we're in chapter 3, please make sure that you're showing me what I have highlighted in yellow so that I will give you full credit on your homework. Without it, I will not give you full credit on your homework. Let's try another problem where you have combining of like terms first. So you have 5b minus 7b. That gives you a -2b equal to 4. And now we're down to a one-step. So divide by -2 on both sides so that b is equal to a -2. Combining those like terms is a good idea. Let's do another combining like terms. Why don't you go ahead and take care of this one yourself? Stop the video, try it, and then come back in. 4w plus 2w gives you 6w equal to 24. We will divide by 6 on both sides so that w equals a +4. One of the next things that we're going to do is go from English into mathematics. And we're actually going to write an equation for the English that is up there, and then we're going to use it to do some solving. Notice that we have these words output and input. The output of a function is 7 more than 2 times the input. Those two words that I've highlighted in yellow refer to two variables. Think about what two variables could they refer to? Do you have an idea? Input is x. Output is y. So when we're starting to write these equations, we're going to use the letters x and y. Please make sure you use an x for input, a y for output. I will count it wrong if you flip them around. So we have the output of a function. That means that we're going to write y is equals, y equals 7 more than, so 7 more than 2 times the input. 7 more than means that we are adding 7, and 2 times the input will have 2x. This is a test question that I just gave you. You're going to have a problem like this on your test in your homework. You're to write an equation for the function. That's y equals 7 plus 2x. That's one item that you have to have down. Then it says find the input when the output is 15. Well, that means find x when y is 15. So you're going to substitute a 15 in for the y and solve for the x. Here's a two-step equation. Start subtracting 7 on both sides. We'll have 8 equals 2x. Divide by 2 on both sides and find out that x is equal to 4. So you have two parts. You need to find out what x is, and you have to be able to write the equation. Make sure that you do both of those parts on the test question and on your homework. Let's do another one. The output of a function is 5 more than negative 2 times the input. You try to write the equation. Stop the video, you try it. The output of the function is, so output is 5 more than. 5 more than is adding. More than what? Negative 2 times the input. Well, if I'm going to write that as negative 2 plus a negative 2, I got to put parentheses around it. If I want to clean it up a little bit, that's 5 minus 2x. This is what I would prefer to see, but the top one is not wrong as long as you use parentheses around the negative 2. Now, find the input when the output is 11. Remember, input is x, output is y, so we're going to write down 11 equals 5 minus 2x and start solving the two-step equation. Subtract 5 on both sides, have 6 equals negative 2x, divide by negative 2 on both sides, and have x equal to a negative 3. You have your equation, you have your final answer for what x is when you know what y is. If you're having difficulties with these, please make sure that you come in and see me. Let's do a story problem. To rent a booth at the county fairgrounds costs $42 per day plus a one-time equipment fee of $85. Write an equation with this info. Okay, we're only looking at that top part. $42 per day. We don't know how many days. So we're going to say $42 per day. That's $42 times the number of days. Excuse me. Plus there is an equipment fee, $85. And all together, that is going to equal y. And y would be our total cost, whereas x is our number of days. So start out with writing an equation. We have it. Now they ask us to find the number of days that Mr. Batzel rented a booth if he paid a total of $337. Well, $337 is our total cost. So that's going to go in for our y. We will set up our equation. It is a two-step, and we will start to use our calculator to help us out here. We're going to subtract 85 on both sides of the equation. When we do that, 337 minus 85 gives us 252 equal to 42x. Now we're down to a one-step equation. We're going to divide by the 42 on both sides. And when we divide that by 42, that turns out to be 6 equal to x. We need one more thing. We need a label on this. 6 days is how long he rented the booth. Two things here that we need. We need the equation, and we needed the answer for the story problem. Kim has a job where she makes $8 per hour plus tips. Yesterday, Kim made $52, $13 of which was from tips. How many hours did she work? You need to write an equation with a variable and solve it. You want to take a stab at writing an equation? Stop the video, you try it. Total amount that Kim makes is Y. She made, and we already know how much she made. She made $52. We're going to put the 52 in for the Y. She made $13 in tips plus $8 times however many hours she worked. Instead of the H there, I can write that as an X. The variable here really doesn't matter. I have a two-step problem. Let's find out how many hours she worked. We're going to subtract 13 on both sides so that we have 52 minus 13, which is 39. 39 is equal to 8 times X, which means we're going to divide by 8 on both sides. Now that looks like it could turn out to be kind of wicked, but actually it turns out to be 4.875 hours for our number of hours, and that's a very nice decimal. It happens to be 4 7/8 hours as a mixed number. I will take that decimal. Please don't round it. It doesn't tell us in the problem to round it at all. Don't give me 5 hours or 4.9 hours or 4.88 hours. Doesn't tell us to round it, so leave it as 4.875. Or write it as 4 7/8. That would be wonderful. In class, we worked on some problems, these problems out of the textbook. You're welcome to work on them. You can stop the video, work on those, and then I have the answers for you, so you can start the video up again and check out the answers. If you have questions to any of these problems, you can always come in and ask. So here are the answers. You can stop the video to be able to see them, and I'm going to give you a few more answers. Here some more. And the last page, here are the rest of the answers. So you can just stop the video and check those out. If you have questions, please stop in and see me. Thank you.